What's up? I'm HUGZ. That's Sam. Welcome to HUGZ and Sam. Today we're getting into 7 Deadly Sins, episode 15. Last we left off,
we saw Gowther.
Gowther.
I don't know why I say Gowther.
It is Gowther.
It's Gowther.
Yeah, like goat.
Like go.
Like goat.
Like goat.
Because he's the goat sin.
Gowther.
Gowther.
I know
Gowther,
this. I just still
the
say
goat
Gowther,
sin.
but Gowther.
Gowther.
And he's got pink hair.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he can just change his hair at will or whatever, because it was green and then it like grew and then it changed color. But anyway,
well, that was just a disguise.
Was it a disguise?
I think so.
Or is that just something that he can do?
We still have a lot to learn about him.
Exactly. Well, so what is this giant creature, this armored giant?
Because that's Gowther, I thought.
It refers to itself as Gowther.
Right. But see, like,
So
I was thinking
like,
maybe it's like Gowther's, like...
I was like, is it like a
brain?
manifestation of him or something?
Yeah, because it looks like brains inside of
it did look like a brain, like the way that it's animated, the way that it's drawn, but it was like in the area of the lung that it was showing. I don't know, that whole scenario, because when we see images of the sins, we see the large armored giant.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see anything.
And he referred to the giant as like his friend that needs help.
Well,
kind of thing.
Not his friend. He wasn't sure if it was a friend. They were kind of like exploring that.
Yeah, but he still was like unsure basically how to like talk to him and stuff. Yeah.
Well, also the Gowther, or Alan at the time, said that they were sad that their time was going to be over soon.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure how that works out.
We have a lot to learn about this.
Yeah, but it was really epic how he saved.
Oh, yeah. The catching it, yeah.
That was super cool.
And I was like, was that Alan? Because, like, nobody else was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it showed everybody, and I'm like, the only other person that could be is out, you know? So that was pretty epic.
Definitely.
And then the transformation was like, baller.
Well, definitely one of the best reveals we've ever seen as far as complete and utter shock. Like, never in a million years would I have thought that Gowther was going to be someone other than the armor giant. Yeah. Like, I'm
actually really glad that our friend Helena told us to skip the opening, because had we seen, because she said like it showed Gowther like
which
the
we're going to be watching the opening in this.
Yeah, but
Patreon.
like had we already seen that character, it might not have been the same reaction, because I'm like, wow, you know, like that reveal was probably one of my favorite things, like reaction wise, like
unless it shows the goat on Gowther, I probably wouldn't have. I would have been like, oh, he's with them now because he's with Gowther.
And we also talked about how the other ones are like actual humans, whereas like Gowther, we just was like, okay, he's just a giant that like
he's like a giant beast,
transform into a human, you know, and even his picture is like this picture of this giant.
Yeah, but all their pictures are so different.
But still, it's still like a human.
I get what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah. Plus, King actually does turn into his form on the posters, just not all the time.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead, jump into it, see what's going down. Hey guys, a lot of these anime reactions will be getting blocked, so make sure to go down to the description for a reaction link, or you can watch a full version over on Patreon. What just went down?
Know, probably.
Well, and because they said, why would he send us to go deal with this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of Jericho and Gila, instead of his Holy Knight, whatever. That's why. Yeah. Because it was her freaking father.
Yeah.
That was their toy experiment before them. So that explains so much more why they spent the Roar of Dawn or whatever?
Yeah.
The Roars of Dawn. Holy crap. That was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Okay. But now
that was emotional.
Okay, so from watching the ending, because I'm like, Hauser and Deanne have this thing. Mm-hmm. You know, she's super into the captain, whatever, I get that. But, like, they had a good little back and forth. Yeah. He seems really into her.
Yes.
And she was still, like, you know,
flirty,
cool with him, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he seems like a good guy. I feel like he could come around.
Right.
And in the outro, it shows him with all them. And when you're looking in the context of who all's in the images, you see Guilt Thunder there. And I'm like, Guilt Thunder, even though he's talking all this mess and he was going after them and whatever, he's holding hands with Margaret.
Yeah.
Who's locked up. And I feel like she would be with the other sisters who seem good. I mean, of course, Elizabeth is, and Veronica was just trying to save Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So it's like, is he low-key a good dude and is gonna like. He grew up with Elizabeth, but then when he fought, he was like, I could care less if you die. But then he was saying all this other mess to that Margaret girl and then holding her hand.
Yeah, exactly. But we also thought that maybe that was because somebody was listening in.
Well, we saw that crow, and somebody commented, or Raven or Crow or whatever it was, and somebody commented, and they're like, what made you think of the crow or something like that? Which makes me think that it is going to be something.
Yeah.
But the reason I kept racking in my mind if we'd seen that before or whatever is from Ruby.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I don't know if y'all have seen Ruby.
Yeah.
But there's a raven and a crow.
Yeah.
And you know they listen.
Yeah.
They're I don't want
basically
to spoil,
yeah.
But they
basically
they and
yeah. So that's what made me think of it when I originally saw it.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of why we both picked up on that.
And at the moment, I didn't even think about from like what show or like what reason I would have for it. Just that's immediately what I thought of.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes me think. As soon as we saw Guild Thunder holding her hand and like having that weird conversation, I immediately am like, okay, like what's going on? Is he low key a good dude? Like is he under someone's thumb and like he's just trying to like play it low key?
Yeah.
Is Hendrickson like super dangerous? Is gonna go after them because they're under what, Dreyfus or whatever?
I don't remember.
I think it's Dreyfus or Dreyfus is who they're under.
Remember.
But anyway, is he like afraid that they'll come for her, or I don't know what's gonna go on with that. Because Dreyfus or whatever, the one that he's with is the one that was forcing people to fight, right?
Yeah.
Or die.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
So we got that. Gother, I guess, is just so powerful. It's not like a size thing. He's just so
like that little like glow.
Well, it says that he said his armor is made to like rein in like basically extreme magical power.
Yeah.
So is he just so powerful that's he wears that armor suit to like contain his power? And what does that mean now that he doesn't have that suit because it's destroyed?
Right. Is it just like
it like he said run rampant, powerful, which means like maybe you can't control it 100%.
Yeah.
Because when something runs rampant, it doesn't sound like something you can just easily control.
Yeah. And you could tell he was trying to, like, stay calmer, I guess. Like, he wasn't, like, wanting to fight. And I mean, which the situation also is, like, understandable, but...
That was a crazy episode, though.
That was really crazy.
We got the sword.
We learned about the Liz thing.
I was going to say, we'd heard Liz before, but when he said it to Elizabeth, I was like, oh, did he just know her as a kid?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it that it was...
Yeah.
The girl who was with Meliodas.
Right.
But, like, that shows me, you know, the way that he inappropriately touches her, he did to Liz.
Yeah.
They look similar. They're both,
it shows, like, a more vulnerable side of Meliodas.
Well, it also shows a connection of why he was so drawn to Elizabeth, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's emotional. Also, of course, just the whole story with the book.
Yeah.
Like that book and, you know, knowing that it was the dad and knowing that it was like how he's like book, you know, and it's like, it's so kid-like, you know, it's super
well, as soon
emotional.
As Gother, then Alan, mentioned the name of that book and then Gila said the same book, I was like, all right, there's something with this.
Yeah.
There's something connected.
And we said that like a couple episodes back, you're like, that's the same book. And I'm like, I wonder why. That's weird.
I knew there was going to be something. I didn't know if it was going to have to do with, like, the story itself. If there was going to be, like, a hint, you know, if they gave us, like, a little reading of the book or something. But.
Right.
But that also, breadcrumbed out, makes me think Gila might one day flip squads. Because if she finds out what they did to her dad...
well, yeah, but she's also a demon, so, like, can she...
Well,
can she be...
So Meliodas.
Yeah, part demon. Yeah. But you can be a demon for the good side. Just fight for the good.
I don't know. Well, we haven't seen what the end game effects are. Maybe he was like this at first. And then over time, because it seemed like over time he was created into other things. Because when Gother first found him in the woods, he looked drastically different than when they just busted the armor out.
Yeah.
So is this a progressive thing that like gets worse over time? Is Jericho just gonna start popping like demon heads out all over? Yeah, like crazy, looking like street sharks all over.
I don't know. Well, that's kind of what happened with that one dude. What was his name? Twiggle. Like he like kind of like blew up into like a weird form and then exploded.
Well, I was like, if he wouldn't have exploded, I thought that's who that could be because giant muscular dude.
Exactly, and that's kind of like where he was going, and then boom, explosion.
That was that was 0 to 100 episode.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought in the comment section down below. Like it if you did. Sub if you don't already. Shout out to our patrons watching the full and early reactions up on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. You really don't know how much it means. It means the world. We'll be back with more videos soon. We love you guys. Bye.